I moved to Qatar in November of 2018, and about a year ago, I decided I wanted my family to come and visit me. I knew tickets for the family were not going to be cheap, so about a year ago, I started tracking them online. It seemed like the ticket price was hovering around $2,000 round trip until about 208 days ago, it dropped basically in half to just $859 per ticket. We booked our tickets online, and 208 days later, it was time for them to make the trip. Things were off to a bit of a rocky start, but they arrived in Doha at about 8 p.m. that night, just 2 hours later than they were supposed to. Since 8 p.m. still felt like the middle of the afternoon to everyone else, we spent a few hours just hanging out and chatting before heading to bed that night. The next day, we got up pretty early and headed on the metro to go and see some of the more touristy parts of the city. We spent the morning in Katara and exploring the National Museum before we headed to the Souq in the afternoon. One of the highlights was Anna trying to get some Turkish ice cream, which I thought was hilarious because I knew it was going to happen, but she didn't. And after that, we did a little bit of shopping and walked over to the Corniche. Then for dinner, we headed back to the Pearl and had some Lebanese food in the Port Arabia area. During dinner, Dad tried to help the waiter clear the table and ended up making quite a mess, but it was pretty funny and we all had a good laugh. The next morning, our real adventure began. I drove everyone down to Sealine early in the morning where we met our driver Habib, who would take us around the desert for the day. Our first stop was camel riding, and let's just say the boys had a very interesting time getting down from the camels, but we all enjoyed the ride while we were having it. After that, we hopped in Habib's Land Cruiser and did some adrenaline-packed dune dashing before stopping at the inland sea, where we could see Saudi Arabia just across the ocean that day. And we swam for about an hour, had some sandwiches, and then got back in the car and headed back to Sealine.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
We spent the night at the resort in one of their chalets and had a very nice evening, eating dinner at one of the restaurants and then having a nice leisurely morning the next day.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes.
Everyone but Patrick took a jump in the ocean before we headed back to the Pearl that morning, and just kind of spent our time chilling by the pool and in the hot tub that afternoon. For dinner, we decided to order some talabat, as Qataris do, and picked an Indian restaurant that night. It was insanely spicy, and I don't think we'll order from there again. We got up early again the next morning to make the 8 o'clock boat ride to Banana Island. We got there just in time to make the boat and had a nice, calm 30-minute ride over to the island. This island is a 5-star resort, and we spent the full day there using their Hello Beautiful Weather day package. We staked out our spot by the beach, as we were some of the first ones at the island that day, and had the pool and hot tub behind us. All of us attempted snorkeling, and we saw some really beautiful fish. We had a very large lunch there, and actually kept us so full that we didn't have dinner. We had originally wanted to get massages, but since it was all booked, we decided to do some other activities instead. The girls did some pedal boating and kayaking, while the boys went over to the 9-hole putting golf course. They tell me it was actually pretty nice. Patrick beat Dad in this one, and we had some non-alcoholic drinks because we had some food vouchers left over, and they don't serve alcohol on this island.
Now jump. How beautiful.
To catch the 6 o'clock boat back and watch a movie at my house, and ordered some cookies on talabat before bed. The next day was pretty chill. We got up late in the morning, and I went to go pick up my dog Briley with my dad, and then we headed over to Festival City Mall to go tour through Ikea, which I think is Anna's new favorite store, maybe. And then we had lunch at the restaurant there and got chicken shawarma because I told them all it was really, really good. We picked up a few things at the Monoprix grocery store before heading home for the evening and just relaxing again. Friday was brunch day, so we woke up late again. We had a light pancake breakfast because I warned everyone that there would be so much food at brunch. Everyone hung out at the pool before we headed out for brunch at 12:30. We went to Toro Toro in the Kempinski Hotel, which is a small island in Pearl. There was some fun dessert at this brunch where they dropped a whole bowl of chocolate and ice cream on the table, which was something very unique. We all came back to my apartment after and took a nice little evening stroll around the Pearl where we looked for all the different cars and all the traffic and people out in the Friday evening, which tends to be one of the busiest evenings in Qatar. After that, we went back and watched a movie and went to sleep. Saturday was everyone's last full day in Qatar, and we spent the day doing some things that we hadn't gotten to do yet. Everyone got to sleep late and we had breakfast at the apartment. We drove back to the Souq where Mom and Patrick bought a few things. They finally got up the courage to barter with the shopkeepers. And we went out to Turkey Central, which was recommended by my friends at brunch the day before, and had a ton of food that was super cheap and really good. After that, we came back to the apartment, did some final pool lounging, and ended our week-long stay by visiting the food truck park in Lusail and had a nice little light dinner. We all had to go to bed early that night because we were getting up really early at 4:30 in the morning the next day to catch everyone's flight and for me to go to work. And that ended our family week in Qatar. It was a great time and I think everyone enjoyed it. Here is everyone's favorite part of the week.
My favorite thing about Qatar is that we all were together as a family to come see Megan. And it was just fun to try all the food.
My favorite thing was dune bashing.
My favorite part of Qatar was duning, especially swimming in the Arabian Sea and having Saudi Arabia behind us and swimming here.
My favorite thing was camel riding, Banana Island, and actually feeling safer here than in the US.
It was the trip of a lifetime for us to all take together, and I'm glad we all enjoyed it.